If you're still broke in 2026, it's not because you don't make enough money. It's because you were never taught how to build wealth from zero. Every single day you delay learning this, inflation quietly steals your future. Your paycheck comes in and disappears. Bills rise, prices rise, but your bank account? It stays the same. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The system was designed to keep average earners average, and if you don't understand how wealth really works, you'll spend your entire life working for money instead of having money work for you. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe your credit cards are almost maxed out. Maybe you're staring at student loans thinking, how am I ever going to get ahead? In the USA and UK, millions of people feel stuck. Inflation keeps rising, rent is higher than ever, groceries cost more, and no one shows you the actual blueprint to escape. But here's the good news. Wealth doesn't start with thousands of dollars. It starts with strategy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build wealth from zero, even if your bank account is almost empty right now. Now pay close attention, because most people will ignore this advice and stay broke. Step 1. Stop focusing on income. Start focusing on the gap. Millionaires don't obsess over how much they make, they obsess over the gap between what they earn and what they spend. That gap is where wealth is born. But here's the problem. Most people increase their lifestyle every time their income increases. New job, new car, small raise, bigger apartment. This is where most people fail. Imagine two friends earning $3,000 a month. One spends $2,950, the other $2,200. Who becomes wealthy first? It's not about who earns more, it's about who keeps more. Nobody tells you this, but your savings rate matters more than your salary in the beginning. If you can create even a $300 monthly gap, that's $3,600 a year. That's your first wealth-building engine. Step 2. Kill high-interest debt aggressively. Credit card debt is financial quicksand. The average credit card interest rate in the US and UK can easily wipe out your progress. You think you're moving forward, but interest pulls you backward. Let's say you owe $5,000 at high interest. Every month you delay paying it off, you're paying the bank instead of paying yourself. Would you invest in something that guarantees a 20% return? Of course you would. Paying off high-interest debt is exactly that. It's a guaranteed return. Most people try to invest while carrying bad debt. But here's the truth. You can't build wealth on a weak foundation. Destroy the debt first. Free yourself. Step 3. Increase your income strategically. At some point, cutting expenses isn't enough. You need more fuel. And this is where most people get uncomfortable. They think, I'm tired after work. I don't have time. But imagine 12 months from now if you built even one extra income stream. Freelancing, selling a skill, starting a small online service, taking certifications that increase your salary. Millionaires follow this rule. Never rely on one source of income. One job equals 1 point of failure. What happens if layoffs hit? What happens if hours get cut? Most people will never take this step because it requires effort up front. But those who do, they change their financial trajectory forever. Step 4. Invest before you feel ready. This is where fear stops people. They say, I'll invest when I have more money. But if you wait until you feel ready, you'll wait forever. Wealth is built through ownership. Ownership of stocks, ownership of businesses, ownership of assets that grow over time. Let's say you invest just $200 a month into diversified investments. It doesn't look impressive today, but give it years. Compound growth is slow at first, then it accelerates. But here's the problem. People quit too early. They invest for 3 months. They see small returns. They get impatient. This is where most people fail. Wealth is not built in weeks. It's built in consistency. Step 5. Master delayed gratification. Nobody talks about this enough. The difference between broke and wealthy is often patience. One person buys the newest phone every year. Another keeps their phone for 4 years and invests the difference. One person upgrades their car to impress people. Another invests that money quietly. 10 years later, the quiet investor has assets. The spender has memories and monthly payments. Ask yourself this: are you building a lifestyle or building freedom? Because you usually can't have both at the same time. The wealthy think long-term. They sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term power. Step 6. Build financial discipline like it's a muscle. You don't suddenly wake up disciplined. You train it. Automatic transfers into savings, automatic investments, tracking your spending weekly. It sounds boring, but boring makes you rich. Excitement makes you broke. Think about going to the gym. The first month is hard. The second month gets easier. After a year, it's part of who you are. Money works the same way. Most people want motivation, but what you really need is systems. Systems protect you when motivation disappears. Step 7. Think like an owner, not a consumer. This is the mindset shift that changes everything. When you walk into a store, do you think, "What can I buy?" Or do you think, "How can I own something like this?" When you see a successful company, do you just consume their products or do you invest in them? The wealthy look at the world differently. They ask, "How can I own a piece of this?" That mindset alone separates the top 10% from everyone else. And here's the truth most people won't accept. Wealth is available to those who position themselves correctly, but most people will stay consumers their entire lives. Imagine yourself 12 months from now if you follow these steps: debt reduced, savings growing, investments compounding, income increasing, stress decreasing. That version of you exists, but only if you start today. Because here's what nobody tells you: building wealth from zero isn't about luck. It's about alignment, aligning your habits with your goals, aligning your money with your future, aligning your discipline with your dreams. Most people watching this will feel motivated for a few minutes and then do nothing. They'll scroll to the next video. They'll say, "I'll start next month," and nothing changes. But a small percentage will take action, and that small percentage, they will quietly build financial power while everyone else makes excuses. Which one are you going to be? Let's recap. Create the gap between income and expenses. Eliminate high-interest debt. Increase your income. Invest consistently. Practice delayed gratification. Build discipline through systems. And think like an owner. Wealth doesn't require you to start rich. It requires you to start smart. You don't need to win the lottery. You need to win your daily habits. Small decisions repeated daily over time. That's how zero turns into freedom. If you're serious about controlling your money instead of letting it control you, subscribe to Money Control Lab. This channel is for action takers, not excuse makers. Comment below, "I'm starting today," if you're committed to building wealth from zero, because your future self is watching and they're hoping you finally decide to change. This is your moment. Don't waste it.